to meet every Saturday, but little did we know. Grandma Avery was dead. But the porcelain doll broke first. I was tired that day, coming home from work at the salon. I was only in college, working part-time jobs to meet ends. I tripped, hitting the porcelain doll my grandma had given me. Porcelain scattered to the ground, crushing me completely. I screamed in horror, sobbing. The very first thing my grandma had given me was broken. Dead. I blinked hard, numbly scrolling for anything mindless, a meme, a moment of escape. But peace wouldn't come. Ding. Soon enough, soft rings hit me, my phone buzzing like crazy. I was so busy at work I hadn't realized the missed calls from my mom. Frantically, I picked up, hoping nothing terrible had happened. I was devastated. "Freya," Mom said, words rushing out of her mouth. "Your Grandma Avery died in her sleep yesterday." "I didn't want to disturb you at work." "What?" I shrieked. "I don't want to hear your excuses. You should have called me right away." A brief moment of silence swept over us. I could barely speak, outraged by what my mother had done, but was I really? No, I just wanted someone to blame for all my anger. My mother's voice was calm but tense. "I know I should have called you. I'm so sorry, Freya, but I was also shocked. The family is meeting at our house, can you come?" I sighed, letting the smoke simmer out. "I'll be there in a few," I finally responded. I hung up, grabbed my coat, ready for action. I knew uncles and aunts would be there, their greedy selves only would care for the money. I showed up in my salon apron, the fine print faded away. Everyone stared at me. Aunts sneered about how late I was, and distant uncles remained cold. Finally, my stepfather slammed the folder onto the tab, his face pale. "I believe," he whispered to Grandma's lawyer, "there's been a huge mistake." The lawyer grimly took one look at him and stared at all of us. "There is no mistake, sir. Mrs. Johnson left most of her money to charity, and the rest to whoever wins her challenge." The whole room was quiet until my mother spoke, her voice still frail. "I still remember my mother telling me about her game. There's only one way to play, but so many relationships could be lost. Is this really worth all our greedy relatives were annoyed, ready to do anything to win the money." Mom read the room and then began explaining the rules. I couldn't fit it all in a short, so click on the long video or go to the comments for the link. I'm a new channel, so this shouldn't be hard to find. Honesty, the game, begins with a designed letter for each player, written by the game master, aka Grandma. We each are sent after our own mission, and whoever completes it first wins. Aunt Winter blankly looked at Mom, her eyes locked in. "This is unfair," she protested, but Mr. Atkinson, the lawyer, interrupted her, handing each member a letter. "You have a week or it all goes to charity," he chimed before leaving the premises. It was a disaster. Everyone tore open their letters, but Mom stopped them with her siren silk voice. "Please just stop. It's getting late. How about everyone goes home to think for a bit and we meet tomorrow no earlier and start?" To my surprise, everyone agreed and I found myself in my car drifting off. I woke to my mom helping me up. We were at Grandma's and Mom had told me since I fell asleep we stayed the night. Everything was like a silent shadow drawing me in. Tiny vases filled every room, each bearing the mark my porcelain doll had. Mom was crying, taking every moment to process what had happened 2 days ago. I felt like crying on the inside, but I just couldn't. I was still in shock. Mom presented me with my letter, and soon enough I found myself going into a whirlwind of shock. "My dearest Freya, if you're reading this, it means I'm dead. I miss you all, and I am glad to see that you are a bright, glowing woman, one I could never be. I hope that my money will save you if you win, of course, and just know that you shouldn't grieve. That is the past. Look to the future. My only hint to you is a riddle, hidden beneath the tallest tree marked with 3 scars. The key to your mystery lies wrapped in moss beside a stone shaped like a star. Good luck, my love, as you need it. Secrets you discover are not very pretty. Grandma. I cried my eyeballs out but pulled myself together as my relatives arrived. They stormed in, searching the house. Hidden beneath the tallest tree with 3 scars. Wait! The backyard where Grandpa took us camping. Sprinting to the pine tree, I spotted a star-shaped stone barely covered in moss. Before I could do anything, I heard sobs coming from the shed. Mariah, I echoed. Mariah. Why, yes, she cried, and I ran towards her, hugging her tight. Mariah was my younger cousin, about 20. What happened? I asked. Jake broke up. I didn't even need to hear the rest. I got up and told her to forget the loser and move on with her challenge. Freya, you don't get it. I'm pregnant. The worst fact is, Grandma didn't give me a challenge, just a $2,000 check. What am I supposed to do? The mom will be furious. Aunt Mackenzie wasn't exactly the most patient, but I'm sure that she would help her daughter. Without thinking, I grabbed Mariah's hand, stuffed the stone in my pocket, and called a family meeting. Mariah, you have to tell them everything. Mariah looked at me with the most furious face ever. You don't get to decide when I'm ready, she yelled. Aunt Mackenzie just stared at me coldly like I was a monster. Doesn't everyone get it? I sobbed and screamed at the same time. We broke apart as a family. I'm tired of the secrets. Mariah, I'm sorry, but... Mom backed me up, and for the first time she was not neutral. I agree with Freya, Mom announced. It's time we start acting like one. We don't need money, we need each other's support. Everyone looked at Mom shocked. Some aunts whispered, Sky's right, while others looked uncertain. There's one thing Grandma said in my letter, Mom said. Saturday night dinner with the stone placed in the middle. The gems of light, losing fright, chased the spirit of might. Slowly and dazed, our uncles and aunts took out gems shining as bright as light. I took out my stone from my pocket, dead serious. I placed it in the middle of Grandma's table, which could coincidentally fit us all. They placed the gems around my stone, looking at Mom. Before anyone could rush to the kitchen to cook, a loud voice boomed. Grandmas, if you're hearing this voice recording, then I'm probably dead. I'm glad you figured it out together. Over the years, this family drifted apart, only my Sky ready to fix the amends but no one to listen. And then my Freya, tired but effortless. She went on naming the list of our relatives until... I love you all, but I only wish for one thing: every Saturday you need to meet for dinner. That is all. As for the assets, you all get lots of money. Your fair share. All the women get crocheted items and jewelry and antiques and money. For the men, you get whatever Grandpa has owned plus money. But for my Sky, you get my prized jewelry and the family heirloom, the firefly necklace. Mr. Atkinson handed Mom the most beautiful necklace I'd ever seen. Can't describe it, not really. Aunts and uncles started crying, and distant cousins too, when Grandma finished her message. Soon after, we ordered Grandma's favorite food, pizza. Mom laughed. I remember when she first tried pizza. She went ballistic. We laughed, and Mariah and some others admitted some secrets. I made a list for you. Mariah's pregnancy. Ella and my stepdad's son were engaged. Jacob's birthday was today, but no one remembered. Subscribe to Starlet Stories. And a few more things I can't tell you about. Now, standing here with my family, I feel ready. Prepared. We know we have each other, and yes, I'm scared for the future. But now I have the support of the people I love. We were broken into pieces like the doll, but we were fixed. And Aunt Harper, an expert at fixing broken things because she has 4 crazy children, offered to fix it for me.